Welcome to TradeSpoon webinar. My name is Vlad Karpel. I'm CEO and founder of TradeSpoon. And today we have a special guest, Fausto Pugliese from Cyber Trading University. He's a CEO. Fausto, can you hear me? I want to make sure.
I hear you loud and clear.
Excellent. Well, I just want to say thank you again for giving us the opportunity to have you present to our audience. You know, we have a lot of day traders, we have stock and option traders, and we're excited to have an opportunity for you to share your experience. I know you have a lot of experience in market making and how the active trader and market makers think about day trading, and just take it away.
All right, well, thank you very much for having me, Trade Spoons. And once again, thank you, everybody. Hopefully, everyone had an exciting day in the market. Some people looking at it be like, I don't think so. The market was kind of flat today. Is that possible? Well, how about if I was to tell you that there are stocks that are moving 20, 50, 100, 200% a day. And I'm not talking about penny stocks. I'm talking about Nasdaq national stocks, because you got to remember, there are over 10 million, there are 10,000, there's 10 million people trading, but there's over 10,000 stocks that trade every day, and there's a different world out there that you don't have to trade every single one of them. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that stuff and kind of educate you how to find them. Most importantly, how do these markets move, who controls them, and how you could benefit from it. So just to let everybody know that nobody here is going to go home without learning not one but several key components of being a better trader, and hopefully that everyone will enjoy it so much that hopefully we'll get the opportunity to train you how to do it. Now, just want to get to know a little bit about everyone before we get started. Can everyone just give me a chat back and let me know, what kind of trader are you? Are you an options trader, a stock trader, a day trader, a forex trader, a futures trader? Just like to get to know a little bit about everybody. Binary options, okay, options trader. Stocks and options I'm getting, okay, good. Okay, we have a day trader out there. Options and futures, future scalper, okay, stocks and options. All right, looks like we have a few stocks and options guys here. And let me just kind of clarify something for everyone. If you are an options trader, I just want you to understand something, that to be a good options trader, you have to learn how to trade the stock first, because it's the movement of the stock that makes an option move. And I always find people, trading what we call a poor man playing a rich man's game, meaning they feel like they can't afford the stocks, so they trade the options. That's not the way how you trade options. You trade options for leverage, and I want to talk a little bit about it. Now, before I also get started, has anyone here ever seen me do a speaking before? Anyone here have ever seen me do a presentation? Just yes, no, just kind of get the feel of the group that are here. All right. Oh, few of you have. Okay, good. A lot of you haven't. All right. Well, let me tell you a little bit about who I am, all right, and what I'm about to teach you, so you guys understand a little bit about the importance of the market. First of all, things we're going to be learning today is how to identify which stocks are trading in the market, finding optional trades, how to use level 2 and total view, how to profit from chart patterns, how to manage money properly, how institutions, players via on the Nasdaq, and all different markets. These are things we're going to cover that are going to teach you to understand how to trade the market. Now, just so you know a little bit about Cyber Trading University and why TradeSpoons has me here, is that, just to let you know, I've been teaching people for over 20 years. It's a pretty long time. I'm not that old. I started when I was 22, and believe it or not, I was already semi-retired at the age of 24. Trading is a very rich game, and once you learn how to trade it, you're going to find it's a part-time job. It's not a full-time job, and that's why I teach, because I do trade every day. I'm going to talk about some stocks we traded today and how you could kind of benefit from them and how you could trade them, but also we're going to talk about how you could do it. Now, just please keep in mind, guys, I am a human just like you, okay? I make mistakes just like you, but what the mistake you don't want to make is not being not knowing how to trade properly, and that is about 70+% of the people out there. Now, over the years, just to let you know, I just rang the closing bell with Steve Forbes. Actually, that photograph right there, that's the first time he took it. But the great thing about that photo is just not ringing the closing bell on the New York Stock Exchange. It's the photograph on the right where it says a bunch of kids were tormenting Wall Street. Now, I don't know if anyone of you ever heard of SOS bandits. Well, I was one of the original SOS bandits that started back in the early 90s. When I started, there were about 1,000 traders. Now there's over 10 million of us. So you could look at me as being the great-grandfather and the pioneer of direct access trading. Now, that's what we called SOS traders back in the old days. Now, over the years, ladies and gentlemen, and the reason how I got into this business is that I learned to be very successful in trading. I found that so many people were failing in trading, and a lot of people were very negative. A lot of people feel like, you know, and that's what Trade Spoons are having me here for, explain to you. That's why you guys are joining and following them, is because we all know we need a mentor, and we all know we need education. First of all, great traders never stop learning, okay? Great traders never, ever, ever admit that they know everything, okay? And if anyone ever tells you that, those are people you do not want to do business with, because there's something to learn every day. Technology keeps coming out. You know, great traders might have a strategy that might help you. And what I've done over the years, became a 12-time world champion. We were ranked #1 school 6 years in a row by Equities magazine, and Wiley just published my new book that just came out, How to Beat Market Makers at Their Own Game. At the end of the presentation, I'll tell you how you can buy it. Now, to be very successful, guys, I just want you to understand, we have to learn before we could earn to be very successful. And that's why we're here, because you don't want to be part of 70% of the failure of traders. Now, why is it such a big failure? Is because people look at trading as investing. It's not investing. This is a job. So you guys need to know how to play the job properly. Now, how do you play the job properly? Very simple. You have to take matters in your own hands. How many of you here are semi-retired, or trading your IRA, or retired, or on Social Security? It doesn't pay enough. You know, all of the above. Some of you saying, okay, well, I understand that. And the thing you got to look at it is that nobody is going to care about your money more than you. Okay? Why would you want to give your money to somebody that all they care about is just charging you commissions? That's not how you make money, okay? Do you really think they want you to make a lot of money in the market? What's going to benefit from them? Why do they need your money? You know why they need your money? So they can make a lot of money. You ever thought about that? Why? You know, people ask me all the time, Mrs. Fausto, you're just a great trader. Can I give you your money? Can I give you money to trade for me? I'm like, what do I need your money for? I got my own money. You know, so you're going to give me more money so I can make more money and only give you 5% of the profit, where I can keep, you know, 1,000% of the profit? Would you like that? You'd be like, well, why don't you give me the 1,000%? I'm lending you the money, right? Well, people are starting to realize that, and that's why most people want to take matters in their own hands. So there is something that I find a lot of people are not doing right now, and they're not using something called direct access. Now, does anybody know what direct access is? Before we get started, I want to get really basic here. Anybody know what direct access means? Just give me a yes and no. Don't tell me a little bit. I'll take that as a no. A lot of people, wow, only one person does. 2 people. Everybody's saying no. All right, that's fine. Okay, let me explain to you. We got one person that says kinda. Now, I'll tell you exactly what direct access means. There are 2 types of brokerage accounts. There are online brokers, which most of you sounds like that you have, and there's direct access brokers. Online brokers, what they do is they're doing the trades for you. Okay, so they're kind of acting like a middleman. And then they do a lot of things that are called like dark pools, which if you want to read an article, it's on our site. I'll be happy to send it to you. It's where they basically just trading within their own brokerage firm. So, you'll get delays, you'll get, ridiculous partial tickets, stuff like that. Not a lot of things that you can never get explanations for, but those are online brokers. Now, direct access brokers, what those are brokerage firms that give you instant access to the market. Let me put it in this terminology. Online brokers are like dealing with public transportation. Direct access brokers are like driving your own car. I can't explain it better than that. Okay, so here you could drive your own car. You can come and go whenever you please. Those are direct access brokers. Could you imagine having a seat on the floor just like Iron Man is right there? Going out there and shooting people down and bidding against them. You could do that. Your whole life, you probably never thought that it would ever be the opportunity, but now you can do that. Is E-Trade direct access, right? I don't know. It depends on your account balance. It depends on which platform they give you. And the only way you know if they do is that when you place an order, you will see it being posted out there right next to Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, Shearson Lehman. You'll see your order going through something called an ECN. Okay? If you don't see that, then you don't have direct access. All right? Can you name a few direct access brokers? Oh, yeah, there's plenty of them. Thinkorswim, TradeStation, Lightspeed, ViewTrade, SunTrade. There's a lot of them out there. A lot of them, even some of the big ones, Schwab does, but they just charge too much money in tickets. You got to have a big active account. See, brokerage firms know that if you go to direct access, then they're going to lose something called the payment for order flow. So they're going to lose that commission. So that's why you'll notice sometimes they ask for larger requirements from you, more tickets, more this, because they got to make it back if they can't sell your order. Yes. Okay. Good for you. Okay. Great. Oh, and by the way, if you have an account with TradeStation, just to let you know that if you take any courses with us, they will rebate you back on all your trades, and I'll tell you a little bit about that at the end of the presentation. Now, the next thing that people make big mistakes is they don't know how to use the trading platform. All right. Now, the trading platform, let me tell you, it gets very complicated. It's a big change. I know it. It's probably the most exciting thing that we teach at Cyber Trading University, but it is very critical. I mean, listen, I could teach you all the benefits of driving a car, and I could convince you why you got to get rid of public transportation, and you got to get your driver's license, you got to get this car, and and everything, the benefits from it. But if you're not going to learn how to put the thing in drive in reverse and where to put the key, you're just going to end up crashing. Follow what I'm saying? So that is the other 50% of failure rate. So far, we've accomplished 75% of the failure. 50% of the people fail because they have the wrong brokerage account. The other 50% of the people fail because they don't know how to use the platform. Now, if you accomplish that, then a lot of you probably know, yes, I can't even imagine anybody not knowing those two things to be successful. Because let me explain something to you. Trading is the best job in the world, but you need to know how to play the game properly. So that is the first step right there. Because the last thing you want to do is be confused. Okay, and that's what I find a lot of people do. They go out there, they're sitting there trading, and they're sitting at their basement, scratching their head, trying to figure out who's got the better, chat room, who's got the better picks. Listen, you have to learn how to do it on your own, all right? And that is something called the KISS method, all right? Keep it super simple. It's one of the key things that we go by here at Cyber Trading University. So let's talk about how do you do that. Well, the first thing you need to do is timing during the day. Now, you have to understand something, that there's a very small window of opportunity to trade, and it's usually the first hour of the open and the last 30 minutes of the close of the market. That's it. That's why I teach, because there's nothing really to do over the middle of the day. Usually all the volume kicks in the morning because all these orders are happening in the morning, and then all these trades are happening in the pre-market, That's where we make most of our money, is timing during the day. So if you look at this little chart right here, you could see right here that in the morning hours, that's where you make your biggest moves. Then the middle of the day, it's usually flat line, and then you get your volatility at the end of the day. Here's another example. Big mover from 9:30. The stock goes from 9:40, and it runs all the way to 10:20, okay, right at the open. So these are some of the examples of how stocks make big moves. Let me bring up a stock today. Did anybody see the stock? Anybody see the stock today, OPK? Anyone see this one right here, OPK? Here's the stock right here at 9:30. Ran from $17 all the way up to $18, right? So about 11 o'clock, right? And then right in the middle of the day, we have a flat line. Does everybody see that? Now think about it. If you bought 1,000 shares this morning at 9 and you sold it an hour and a half later, and you made a buck on that trade, give or take, 75 cents on 1,000 shares, what does that come out to be? What is 75 cents times 1,000 shares, everyone? $750. Very good. Do that every day for 5 days straight, 52 weeks. You're talking a pretty significant high six-figure salary. Okay? So why is this company up? Why did it go? Who cares? Where we're at right now is that you guys have to understand timing during the day is everything, because that's where you make most of your money, is in the morning and going into the close. All right, let's bring this back down. Now, any questions about timing during the day? How do we detect this real time when it starts to move? Well, that's a great question. And the way we know that is from the pre-market. Does everyone here have access to pre-market trading? Because what we do at Cybertrade University, not only are we a school, but we run a professional trading room. And we start our trading room at 8:30 Eastern time in the morning, an hour before the open. And we do a lot of our pre-market trading right then and there, and a lot of us actually trade in the pre-market. So we usually jump in before a lot of these things take off. So that's how we kind of, hopefully that answers that question right there. One teacher told me not to trade the first hour. Okay, you know what? I haven't heard that in a long time, okay? And let me explain to you why he told you that, okay? First of all, he's not a day trader, okay? He's a swing trader. What happens is that his indicators are not kicking in until after the hour. So by the time he figures everything out, he needs about a good hour before the indicators kick in. And hopefully everybody understands the problem with indicators is that they're laggers. And you can't be a lagger in this business. You have to be a trader. And that's the reason for that. All right. So what are you scanning for? Unusual volume? Okay, we're going to get to that. We didn't get to that yet. As of right now, my main goal is I wanted to cover why half the people fail by having the wrong brokerage account, why people fail because they don't know how to use the system, and why people are failing because they're trading at the worst times of the market when they should be trading at the most volatile times of the market. Remember, if there's no volatility, you make no money. So I have a question for everyone, okay? How do stocks go up and go down? Let's have everyone ready to have some fun? Let's have a little pop quiz right now. Let's have a little fun. How do stocks go up and go down? Anything, futures, options, Forex, binary options, whatever rocks your boat, how do they go up and down? Well, there's not a ton of reasons. There's only one reason. If you can't answer this question, okay, I just want to be very blunt with you. I would close my account and log out of the meeting because every single one of you should know this answer. It's a very simple question. That's right. Supply and demand. S&D. S&D, right? That's all it is. Supply and demand. And how do you trade supply and demand? You follow the money. Now let me explain something to you. When I first started, Okay, before I was a very successful trader, I was a very successful loser. Why? Because I was an ignorant little kid that thought that I didn't need any training. Okay, and let me give you some advice, everyone. Anyone here thinks they don't need education? Well, you know what? If I had an opportunity to give somebody to trade my money, a mutual fund, I would give it to somebody that knew what he was doing, not somebody that was self-taught. Okay, so, and the first thing I was taught was that my mentor came up and told me and says, hey, Fausto, you want to be a successful trader? Do you know where the money's going? Do you know who's buying it? Do you know who's selling it? And my first impression, I says, I didn't want to sound stupid, but I says, I think. And like, you think? How about we say no? Because you know or you don't know. So the thing is this, we all know the way things go up is due to supply and demand. And how do we do that? We follow the money. Now, how do you follow the money? Can anyone answer that question? How do we follow the money? Volume, okay. Buyers and sellers, right? Wouldn't it be nice to see where 70% of the buyers are and 70% of the sellers are? How much smarter and better trades would you make if you were able to follow those orders? Charts don't tell you that. Charts don't tell you where the buyers and sellers are. Charts only tell you previous history. Okay, so how do we do that? We use something called level 3, okay? Level 3 is known as high frequency trades, all right? HFTs, total view. Anyone here know how to read? And there you go. One of you said institutional buying and selling. That's what we're going to be talking about right now. Guys, how much money would you make, smarter and better trades, if you knew how to shadow where the institutions were buying and selling? I mean, are you doing that right now? Anyone here watching where the institutions are placing their orders? Anyone here monitoring where all the high frequency trades are? Well, you know what? That's okay, because I wasn't when I started 20 years ago, and nothing has changed other than technology and made things easier. Tons. You make tons. I like that one. Tons, and I had no idea how to do it. Well, you guys are in good. You guys are in good shape, because I'm going to teach you. Okay? Because that's what Trading Spoon's wanting me to do. Because you got to remember, to be a very successful trader, you have to have an edge. Okay? And part of the edge is following the money. How do you follow the money? You need to have the right tools to trade. Now, I want you to understand something. What I'm about to teach you right now, this is not the Cyber Trading University Nachi, okay? This is not the Fausto MACD, okay? This is Nasdaq. This is New York Stock Exchange. These are the orders that are out there that market makers trade through every day, okay? And unless you're a trader, a market maker on the floor, not too many people know that. And let me tell you, a lot of people, and don't ever think like, well, you know, what about if we all knew about it? Listen, there's 10 million people out there, and 99.9% of them think they know how to trade, okay? So don't worry about it. So let me teach you a little bit about what high-frequency trades are. All right, so here on the right-hand side, if you notice, let me get my crayons here. Find my little spot right here. Okay, so here's your buyers, and here's your sellers, okay? This is an order book. This is a level 3, okay? This is what we call total view. Now, does everybody here know how to read a chart? It's like the first thing people know, right? Everyone's like, yeah. Look, I got so many yeses. I've never seen so many yeses come in so fast. Okay. One person says, I think so. All right. Well, I can tell you this. 80% of people read charts backwards, so don't feel bad. All right. The ones that think they do, they don't. And I'll tell you why. Because everybody's having a chart tell them where it's going, where you should know where it's going before it gets there. So looking at this chart right here, you could see the stock hit a resistance level. It came back down, right? Now it's going back up, and right now it's testing a resistance level. Now, in theory, that stock should go down, right? Why? Because from previous history, you could see that what we go by is what happens in the past is indicative of the future, where technically that's not true, okay? That is just a predicament, Okay, that's not reality. What's reality is that when you look at the orders and you have 75,000 share buyers versus 2,000 share sellers, ladies and gentlemen, what do we have more? More of a supply or more of a demand? What do you think? What do we see here? More of a supply or more of a demand? Just write a D. I don't want to make everybody worry about trying to spell correctly. Just write D. 75,000 versus 2,000. I would say there's a big demand out there. So by having a big demand out there, what do you think the price of the stock's going to do? Go up or down? It's almost like common sense, right? It's like, really? Of course. But think about it. How many of you here are following the money? How many of you here are seeing those orders? Okay? For example, look at this one right here. The stock went all the way up from 660 all the way to 690. It came right back down. Okay, right now it's trading at 662. Now, the reason, now, in theory, if the stock was to go up, you got to have a game plan. And where's the game plan? Well, some of us might say, well, resistance levels, the big resistance levels here at 695. And you're right, it is 695. But honestly, I don't see any sellers at 695, but I do see a seller at 675 for 45,000 shares. No one, and that's right there. No wonder why the stock probably backed off there. Maybe the guy was maybe there was somebody out there at 695, but he's not there now. He's actually at 675. Because 662 to 695 is a big difference. 675 is not that far away. It's right in between. And how do you confirm that? Not by guessing, by seeing the orders. I have a question right here from a trader. It says, I use level 2. What is the main difference between level 2 and level 3? Excellent question. About 20 times more data. You get to see 20 times more orders that you do not see in level 2 that you see in level 3. Big difference. Okay? See the value there? Because in level 3, do you see all these, what we actually call these iceberg orders. I don't know if anyone ever heard of that lingo, but at Cybertrain University, that's what we call. So getting to trading, everybody, the thing you have to understand is you got to have a game plan. You got to know where the sellers are. You got to know where the buyers are. How many of you here are actually monitoring and knowing where these big block orders are? Anybody here doing that right now? That's okay, because you know what? If you say no, I said no too when I first started, okay? After I blew up 3 accounts, okay? And the only reason why I blew up 3 accounts, if I listen to my sister, and I always bring this up because back in the old days, me and my sister started out in the finance industry, and we both worked for the same company. And what happened was, but we loved trading, and she actually was the smarter one. She actually took a job and learned from somebody, okay, took a course to learn how to trade, and me, the egotistical guy, like, first of all, I'm not paying a single penny. I don't need to learn. Back then, I had my Series 7. I was a licensed broker. I'm like, what do I need to do? I know exactly what I'm doing. I know what companies are good companies, bad companies. But let me tell you something, guys. It's a different animal. It doesn't matter what you trade, okay? It's a matter of making money. Like one of you said earlier, I'm going to talk about it, okay? And we were actually trading this stock yesterday. Did anybody see the stock PBMD? PBMD. Ever hear of it? PBMD. Not a lot of people are saying, one person knows about it. Okay. You know what? I don't know anything about it. I don't care. But one of you saying it was up 281% today. Actually, that's not really true. Okay. It's actually up almost 1,000%. Okay. And actually almost like 600 to be exact. All right, so we're going to talk about that. 600%. You know what? Apple wasn't up 600%. Microsoft was up 600%. Google was up 600%. Well, what does the company do? Oh, it's got definitely a penny stock. No, company came out, it's a drug company, and they just got the cure for ovarian cancer. It's a pharmaceutical stock, right? Does that make it a bad company? Regardless. Now, do we know it's going to go that high? These are things that you need to understand. Now, why did it go up so much? We're going to talk about it because the demand. It's about demand, not about everything else that comes along with it. Now, how do you know? And I have a question coming across. How do you know it's a real supply or a real demand? That's an excellent question. How about you come and join me tomorrow in the real market conditions, and I show you. Who here can come and watch me trade live tomorrow in the real market conditions? Because you know what? Listen, anybody can make a beautiful PowerPoint presentation, okay? Anybody could sound unbelievable, over the phone or over a webinar. But reality is, why was Fausto a 12-time world champion? Okay? Well, that's what you need to see. Is these orders real? Okay? That is something that everybody here needs proof of. Okay? Because a picture means one thing, but seeing it live in the market conditions, well, that's a wake-up call. Okay? I wish, but I need some place to be. Well, that's okay. Don't worry about it, but guess what? How about if I told you got 5 days to come enjoy it? All right? I'll tell you at the end of the presentation. If you can't be there tomorrow, you can come the next day or the day after that. All right? But you got to stick around to the end presentation. I'll tell you how you could join me and see these real orders out there and seeing that I'm not blowing smoke. All right, so anyway, continuing a little bit further, just kind of tell you a little bit more of the iceberg orders. Here you have a stock that's going up. And one thing we always kind of teach our students is we always look for the big orders. Look for the big orders, not the 100-share sellers, not the 500, but the 8,000s, the 22,000s, because those are what make supports and resistance levels. All right. So I think any questions about high frequency trades so far? Any questions? How do we know these are real orders? Okay, well, that's a great question. I get people ask me that question all the time. Well, I'm going to prove it to you. You're going to come join tomorrow, okay? And number two, no brokerage firm will let you even put a fake order out there, right? I don't think you could put an order and tell a brokerage firm, oh, could you put an order out there, but I don't want it to be real. I want it to be fake. So I don't think brokerage firms will allow you to do that. So they're all real orders. Where can you get level 3? Is it offered with TradeStation? Yes, it is, and it's called the Matrix, okay? But before you go out there and use it, why don't you come and join us tomorrow so I could teach you how to use it properly, because it actually will do more damage than good. What about spoofing? That is basically what I just covered, okay? Listen, people can go out there and place, and cancel orders whenever they want, all right? But you know what? At the end of the day, I tell people this all the time. If you're worrying about spoofing, okay, then why are you in this business? And if you want to see spoofing, let's go see it and see it really live happen in the market. Because I get people all the time that says, oh, you can't trust this, you can't do that. And I'm like, well, what are you doing here? Go back to work at McDonald's. I mean, that's part of the game. You just don't know how to play the game. And that's where people that's why it's a 70 to 80% failure rate. Is there a software to scan HFTs or how to detect them? Yes, and I'll cover that tomorrow in the real market conditions. Okay? That's an excellent question. Could there be a hidden order that cannot be seen? You could do something that's called a no-show, but it's still going to be shown on an ECN book, but it might not show up on your level 2. It's not really popular method that people do. That's like people do that when stocks are trading like very, very low volume. Stocks that not too many people trade, so they don't want to they don't want to scare people when they see a real order out there. But yeah, that happens. What time we start? We start at 8:30 Eastern time, okay? And runs all day. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, please keep in mind, we do two things at Cyber Trading University, okay? We run a training room, a training department, and we also run a professional trading room. There's two different rooms. We have a room that teaches you how to trade, and we have another room that we trade together, all the students and all the traders and all the instructors at Cyber Trading University. So I want to kind of talk about some stocks that we traded in our pro trading room. Have any of you guys are part of a professional trading room where you got a couple of hundred traders in, trading together? Anybody here part of a trading room? I'm not talking about just like on a Skype with like 2-3 people. Okay, there's about 2 of you. That's good. That's good. And you know what? You have to be part of a room. You have to surround yourself with great traders to be great. Okay, so that is one very good way of starting out. Trader said right here, I was, but I couldn't follow the terminology. Okay, well, the reason why you probably couldn't understand the terminology is because you probably were never taught the terminology. Okay, that's why at Cyber Trading University, what we do is we have a school that will teach you how to trade, so you understand the terminology, what to look for, how to trade, and then you'll be in a trading room. Okay, but what I'm going to invite all of you guys to do tomorrow is come and join me to see the trading room, okay, and see students that we've trained that made money, and then you can make the judgment if this is for you or not. Because let me tell you something, trading is not for everybody. I'm being honest with you, okay? As much as you want to do this, unless you're going to do it right, there's no shortcut of a shortcut, okay? You cannot be self-taught, okay? You cannot be trading by yourself, all right? And believe me, you will, and just think about it, even if just hypothetically you are even making money, imagine how much more you would make if you surround yourself with great traders, okay? So you have to do that. And listen, if you had an opportunity to go work at Goldman Sachs, the godfather of Wall Street, why would you not want to take that job, okay? My father always taught me, and I never understood this until I got older, but my father always taught me, he says, son, first of all, you got to love what you do. Okay, if you love what you do, you'll be very successful. And most importantly, if you love what you do, this is what you do. You go find and work for the best people in the industry, the best of the best, okay? If you have to pay them, you got to be an intern, whatever it takes, you go work there. If you got to take out the garbage, do what you got to do. But learn from what they're doing, okay? It's not a career. This is your career. And the only way you're going to learn is learn everything of the mistakes that they make so you don't have to learn the hard way, which is going to cost you money. And that's how you do that. Are you guys like Online Trading Academy? No. They're a franchise. We're a boutique. We're a trading firm. We're actually not a trading firm. We're actually a school, but OTA is a like I said, a franchise. We're actually a boutique single school, okay, that teaches the world through online education. So now, how do we make money, ladies and gentlemen? Let's talk about some stocks that we traded today, okay? So what I like to do is I like to bring up a browser. Hold on one second. I want to show you guys something. Just give me a second here. Where am I? Just want to kind of share something with you for a second. I'm going to bring up a browser. And okay. So anyway, let's talk about some of the stocks that we've traded. All right, and I'm going to bring up an execution system right here. Can everyone see this okay? Just let me know if you could see this okay. All right, good. All right, so now the next question a lot of people are going to ask is, okay, so how do you find stocks? Okay, so anyway, the way we find stocks is something right here. All right, this is what we call our percentage gainer and loser list. Okay, now the stock I was talking about earlier was PBMD. Okay, now PBMD, if you look at the stock right here, and if I zoom in, you could see this stock right here. Yesterday was 62 cents, okay? And it went to a high today of $6.48. Yesterday it was up literally 250%. It opened this morning at $2 and went all the way to $6, okay? Now, does anyone have a problem trading a stock at $2, a $2 stock? Anybody have a problem with that? I hope not. I hope we don't have anyone who's going to be discriminating against $2 or $5 stocks, because the way I was trained, why go out there and risk a lot of money when you could risk a hell of a lot less, you know, and still make money, right? I mean, you're in and out the same day. You're not looking, you know, listen, I'm a day trader. I love day trading. It helps me sleep at night. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Okay. So here's a stock that we traded, and you could see over the course of the day, that stock literally ran right at the open from 9:30, made a big pop, and then all the way to 12:30, ran to a high of 640, and then in the middle of the day, it did nothing. Okay, so you could see you had two big, great opportunities to make a lot of money on it. You know, that was one of the stocks that we've traded. Let me bring up a few others, okay, that we traded, because that was only one of several. Here's another stock, ISR. Did anybody see this stock trade today? Up 114%. Stock went from $1.80 to $3.45, and still looks like it's going to go higher tomorrow. Anyone saw this one? Anything wrong with that? Making, you know, $2, you know, risking a very, very few. And you know what? You don't have to go trade options to do it. Were you able to detect them early? You know what? Not only was I able to detect them early, is that when you come and join me tomorrow, I guarantee I'll show you more of them, because we do this every single day. Anybody have a problem with a guarantee? Is anything wrong having guarantees that you can get, that someone's going to prove it to you, right? What is there? Sounds great, right? Exactly. So I want you to understand, guys, that this is not, I know this might sound like after the fact, but I will introduce you tomorrow and show you stocks that we trade just like this before they even take off. Why and how do I know this? Not because we have a crystal ball, is because I am a true professional trader, and what we do at Cyber Trading University is we show you how to find them, how to see the high frequency trades, who's buying it, who's selling it, you know, having that game plan before everyone else knows about it. Okay, that was one other stock. We had a couple of other ones. Momo was another one. Did you guys see Momo today? Up 5%. And people are like, oh, it was only up 5%. In the past 2 days, it went from $12 to $19. Look what happened right at the open at 9:30. Stock went from $15.50 all the way to a high of $19. I don't know, not bad for a day's pay right there. For anyone here that feels they don't feel comfortable trading a cheap stock, we got that one right there. Okay, we did a couple of swing trades. How about Shake Shack? Guys trade Shake Shack? Great IPO, great company, biggest short squeeze in the market, a lot of talking going on. Broke all-time high. These are one of the stocks that we've traded. Okay? Now, I know it sounds like, wow, Faust, you keep talking about the winners, right? Well, how about this? How about the losers? Right? Everyone has losers. Everyone could talk about how great they're the winners. Well, this is what I want you to understand. What we teach at Cyber Trading University is we show you how to trade the winners, run with the winners, and cut the losers, which a lot of you guys have a tough time doing. So we've lost money, but we minimize that loss because we get out before it gets bigger. So we run with the winners and we get out of the losers. SRPT, another big winner. Anyone saw this stock? From 16 to 27, up 60%. These are things that we've traded. YGE, I know a little very cheap, but this stock was $1.70, went to 80 cents, had a little bit of a bottom fish right there. Any chance you actually say something of us to us? Yes, we do. We do share text and audio in there. Yep, that was a great swing. Absolutely. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of things that I would like to kind of share with you. Okay, so what did we really learn how to trade? Okay, what did we learn today? So basically, well, you know what? Person saying, you know, just a story of an example, the stock went up 500%. But is there something wrong with that? Is there something wrong of finding a stock that's up 500%? People would die to find stocks up even 10% a day, or make even 10% a year. So the thing is this: if you want to understand what day trading is about, if you want to understand, you know, why people like to day trade and work about an hour a day, well, this is what it's about. It's about finding stocks that move early in the morning and they jump in. So let's kind of reiterate what we've learned, all right? Let's kind of talk about what we've learned. Basically, we've learned today that when you trade and when you come out there and you start out in the morning in trading, you got to have the right brokerage account. That's number one. Number two, you got to know how to use the platform. Number three, you have to know how to follow the money. Okay. Number four, you need to know where to find the stocks. Number five, you need to surround yourself with a great team of traders. And number six, you need to have a mentor. All right? Every single one of you need to have a mentor when it comes to trading, whoever it may be. And you know what? Listen, I know this is not for everybody. I know everyone here is sitting back and saying, you know what? Not really my kind of trading, and that's okay, but now you know the truth of it, because it's easier to hear someone explain to you than you actually going out there and doing it. All right? But every single one of you, I don't care who you are, need a mentor. You know what? Your parents. We try, as some of us are parents, we try to mentor our kids to be great, good kids, don't we? All right. A lot of us gone to college. A lot of us got jobs. A lot of us, you know, started our own businesses, became very successful. It's, you know what? I know that for a fact that not every one of you did it, you know, learn and says, oh, I figured it out on my own. Okay. You did it because you saw somebody make money at it. And you says, you know what, that sounds like a great job. That's what I want to do. And you love what you do, and that's how you become successful. But you need to get a mentor. And let me kind of say this, that every one of you are going to need more than one mentor. Okay, so please keep in mind, don't say, oh, you know, I got a mentor. You know what? It's okay. You can listen to a few people. You can listen to a few trading rooms. You know, don't feel like you have to settle with one. You know, maybe, you know, even though you might spend a lot of money to learn from somebody, you might need, you know, you can always learn something else. So don't ever hold back. A couple of questions coming across here I'd like to answer, so I want to make sure I don't ignore anybody. Is someone has a question that they shouldn't be investing? No, of course you invest. I invest. I have to. I have IRAs. But the thing is, if you know how to trade, you'll be a great investor because it's going to make you more disciplined. What platform did I show you? It's just basically another generic brokerage firm's platform. They're all pretty much the same. Question, does the time of the day trading apply to options trading? Yes. And you know what? Because what happens in the stock market affects the option market, so absolutely. Are there any reaction to Canadian traders? Well, listen, I would say maybe 20% of my students are Canadians. I've been up to Canada many times. I trained a lot of Canadians, and I could tell you this: the one thing I learned that Canadians are starting to realizing that, you know, the Toronto exchange doesn't really have that much volatility in it. And I really don't think you trade the Canadian market just because you're in Canada. You're trading the markets because you want to make money. So, so you can take what you've learned, even if you don't trade the U.S. market, you could trade the Canadian market. Pretty much trades almost the same. Does your classes teach chart reading? Absolutely, absolutely. But the thing is, that's what we teach you last, because that is after the fact. What is your room timing? What time we run our rooms? We run them from 8:30 Eastern time to 4:30 in the afternoon. It runs all day. And that's just the trading room. Then the teaching, we run trading classes that run all day. Not really the London stock market. Okay, so listen, we're running out of time here, and some of you said, well, who here can come and join me tomorrow, by the way? Anybody here can come and join me tomorrow or for the next 5 days, see this live? Okay, so listen, I'm looking for serious people that want to be there, okay? If you take us seriously, we'll take you seriously, okay? And what we do at Cyber Trade University, we do some things that are very, very unique. If you sign up, you'll have access to talk to one of our instructors, okay? You'll be able to talk to an education advisor. They'll be able to analyze your trades for you. They'll be able to tell you what you can and can't do. You got to understand something. A lot of you guys are a case-by-case basis, okay? So one thing I can't, I can't tell you who's better than the other. It's like saying I got a fever, doctor, give me some antibiotics. I can't do that. We look at ourselves as doctors because every one of you trade different markets, so you need to have certain different brokerage firms. Some of you have jobs. Some of you are looking to trade swing trading and day trading and mix it up. So if you take us seriously, we'll take you seriously, and this is how we're going to do it, okay? To become a better trader, for today only, I am going to offer you a money-back guarantee for $29. I want you to join me for 5 days. 5 days to see everything that I taught you, okay? If you can't make it tomorrow, you can postpone it the following day. Some of you said Friday. Now, like I told you, it's guaranteed. The reason why we charge $29 is to cover the webinar technology. Okay, so I know you guys don't want us to lose money, but obviously if you want to see stocks that are up, that are up dollars a day, well, now you have 5 days to see it. Now, the most important thing I want you to learn from this is don't judge us by our winners, judge us on our losers, how few they are, and also look at our students that we've trained and see how much money they're making and how successful they are. Okay, now we talk about options, we talk about futures, we talk about stocks. I preferably love day trading, so I day trade a lot. So you'll see me doing a lot of day trading in there. So it's guaranteed $29, money back, but we want serious traders. There's no charge after the fact. If you want to move forward with us, great. If you don't, no problem, no big deal, okay? Are you calling entries and exits in the class? Well, that's a great question, okay? And the answer is we will bring you to the money. We won't tell you when to buy and sell. First of all, we can't do that because we're not registered. Nobody is allowed to do that, by the way. But we're gonna advise you, and we could say, hey, look at this and look at that. You got to remember, if I bought it here, doesn't mean you're buying it with me. You understand? You could probably buy 10 minutes later, and then you can get into a bad trade. And I might be selling at that time. See, what we do is we teach you how to find out when to get in, when to get out. You don't want me to tell you when to buy and sell it. You just want me to show you where to find them. That's what we do. Yes, Canadian traders absolutely could trade in the U.S. markets. Absolutely. Now, as a bonus, everyone is going to get, actually this date was changed, everyone will be getting a free live workshop. We do it every Friday. So if you join us, you'll be able to jump into one of our workshops that we charge at $2.99. We're throwing that in as a bonus if you sign up with this workshop. Now, if you want to sign up, ladies and gentlemen, very easy. All you have to do is call 877-70-CYBER, or better yet, the best thing to do is go to our website. Let me get it for you, at cybertradinguniversity.com. There we go. And right here on the right-hand side, you see what Cyber Pro Trading Room? Just click on that. And here you go. There's the link for you. All right. Any questions so far, ladies and gentlemen? Can I pay $29 on Friday? If you're in a rush, you can't make it, then pay it on Friday. But don't worry. What's going to happen is if you pay now, you're going to have access to some videos right now, some trading videos. That's going to teach you how to trade so you can get prepared before then. Do we take MasterCard? We take Visa, American Express. We don't take Diner's card. PayPal, if you call in. Any other questions? Do you find stocks to trade adequate to E-Trade Pro or only applies to TradeStation? No. Let me explain something to you. Schwab, E-Trade, Fidelity, TradeStation, they're all vehicles. They look at them as a car. One's a Porsche, one's a Cadillac, one's a Pinto, okay? They're all vehicles, right? One's the local bus, right? I'm going to teach you how to find the stocks. What platform you want to trade on, they're all the same, okay? Just one is a lot slower than the other. All right, no problem. Like I said, do what you have to do to come. If you can't sign up today, you can always sign up tomorrow. How do we pay after the webinar closes? Well, once again, talk to an education advisor at Cyber Trade University. If you have any questions about that, they'll take care of it. 877-70-CYBER. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? All right, so listen, do we need level 3 to participate? No, you don't need level 3. You don't need anything. All right, all you need is to log in and watch and learn. That's all you need to do. Watch people, how we control losses and run with our winners. See what it's like to be in a professional trading room. And like I told you, it's guaranteed. Money back guaranteed. It's all you have to do. Where do you go once on the site? Well, when you're on the website, on the right-hand side, right here, oops, trying to draw this for you. Right here is where you sign up. Okay? Right there. No problem. Any other questions? Yeah, like I said, you don't need anything to be there. All you need to do is watch and learn and be there for the 40-plus hours of trading and see what it's all about. Do we record the sessions? Yes. And actually, you can watch some of them, old ones, on YouTube. Go to look up our YouTube channel, and we actually record them on there too. But that's only we only record them once a week. But here you're going to get to enjoy it every day. How long you get to take advantage of this offer? It ends at the end of the week. Any other questions? All right, no problem. All right, guys, listen. First of all, I'd like to thank Trading Spoons for having me here. It's been an honor and a privilege to talk on behalf of all of you. And once again, like I told you, it's the thing you have to understand is that every single one of you here need to learn all the markets, how they work. Now, you might not want to be a day trader, okay, but you should at least know what it is, all right? Let's say you're a futures trader or a forex trader. Let me tell you, everything trades about 70% the same. It only trades 30% different. But there are things that affect certain markets that will affect other markets. So you better off know what the truth is and what it's all about before you go out there and make these bad examples. Because let me tell you, just to be able to monitor 70% of the high frequency trades, and just to see that and see it live in the market, it's worth every penny. Okay, and then if there's something you want to do, now you know what the truth is. If you can't get it, you can't comprehend it, worst thing that could ever happen to you is that you spent a little time and realized it's not for you, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than actually doing a trade and not knowing why you made money and lost money. So with that said, from myself and everyone here at Cyber University, I'd like to thank you for coming. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning at 8:30. Audio, by the way, starts at 9 a.m., okay?